Um, you're gonna hear in the back, if you've heard this sound before, it's because it's my cat playing. Yeah, I'm not trying to fuck with your head or anything on this. No, this is not me hacking into your mind with a Morse code of like mouse toys. Why'd you stop? Asshole? I was just fuck, of course I'm gonna run into this problem. Get fuck. Oh, you over here. Hey. Oh, now you're happy again? You didn't like this before. I love my black pussy. Does my black pussy love me? No, not today. Oh, he cleans my beard. What? Do you not think that would be adorable to watch a black pussy clean a white man's beard? I'm just saying. What? How could you go wrong? He is purring though. A male pussy, whatever. I'm not one to be picky these days. Look, I did jack shit in college. I didn't give a fuck the entire time. I knew exactly what I needed to do when I got out. And I got as close as I could to the richest people I knew, and I spent, a few years. Just two. I was fucking pussy. I didn't want to wait that long. And none of them reached out to me. Plenty of Jews, plenty of rich white people, plenty of rich people of different minorities that, again, all polite, wonderful people. None of them gave a fuck. No one even want to know your story. Like some of them maybe, but like for the most part, like the only connection I really made with the person I thought was really awesome was a moderately attractive flight attendant. Probably 30 years maybe 20 years my senior. Nothing happened. I did meet a Hispanic lady who stalked the shit out of me. Oh yeah, she wasn't one of the residents. She was a guest resident, and I didn't realize that. She was married to like a top level doctor at a hospital, in South Carolina or North America, whatever. And like she was cheating on him with me, and like, yeah, that fucked my head up. And like, we weren't even that far along. Like, this bitch doesn't know how to give a fucking hand job. Like, she's fucking stupid. Like, clearly, like, that guy's a saint for dealing with that woman. I can't do that. No, that's terrible. And like, I cut it right there when I found all that. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. And she's talking shit. Bitch almost ran me over with her fucking car. Like, one of my coworkers saw me like so fucking frazzled that like I had almost just got. He didn't believe me. He thought I was a fucking pussy the rest of the time. Fine, whatever. Like, some of you bitches are crazy, okay? For all the shit you get, and men do commit a lot more public or domestic violence privately than we're aware of, or that gets reported. But like, some of you girls know how to destroy a man. Like Brad Pitt survived Angelina Jolie. Like I just read this last night. Like I don't pay attention, but like I'm like they're still in the fucking yep. No, she is still trying to make his life a living fucking hell. I cannot imagine that level of like a relationship deteriorating so badly. I parts of me wish I were married with kids, and parts of me are like, thank God we dodged that bullet. Not to say it can't happen in the future, but like, I've met some of you incredible women, and you're going to be incredible mothers, but like, it takes a lot to be a mother now and drive some women up the fucking walls, and we don't support you. We should expect this at this point. Yeah, he's not a big fan. You realize like I'm starting to add whatever the fuck I want now. Like, I'll make this go as long as I want. Fuck you. Again, I gave it to you short earlier. I'm gonna give it to you short at the end. Like, there's no biggie here. I worked at the Trump Palace, Trump Royale, and Trump International in Sunny Isles for a good couple of years. Rose through the company as quickly as I could, but I just knew the future wasn't in for me, and I probably should have stayed there. I would have had a lot more good stories. I definitely met a couple of mafia dudes who owned a couple of gas stations. Car washes, not gas stations. What I'm saying? Yeah. I I have so much more to say than I could put in here, and like I'm trying to get the important stuff in. I was inspired to do this, seeing death so many times, which is really not a whole lot. Like I'm a little bit of a pussy. Like I almost saw one overdose, and like my grandparents died. Like I have not had to deal with death in so many ways. So like this is me like preparing to like be okay with death and like realize this is a real thing because I'm just such a pussy, and some of you have to grow up real early. Like my best friend Ben, his dad died when he was young, and my father, whose dad died when he was young. Um, some of you never had fathers. I happen to have the best one. He didn't need a teacher at all. You should all have more faith in yourselves, um, and you should have a better version of women to teach you how to be better men because they only seem to want to like punish the bad ones. I don't know what we need to do to teach them that like the carrot, the eggplant works better than the stick. But like, if we pull this off, guys, we're gonna have to make some sacrifices. I don't know, but I'm gonna drop it to a chromosomal level, and I'm not saying that their X's should be worth more than ours, but they are way, way bigger. Yeah, the X chromosome is very large. Like you can survive without a Y chromosome as like a slightly less feminine woman. Yeah, I don't know what the thing is. We're dudes, and we're gonna think dude-like, and like our Y chromosome mostly just codes for like extra testosterone. Like girls can still make it, just they don't make as much. If we're looking at a weighted average here, like we gotta make our choices very smart over the next couple of years because I don't care how 2020 goes. In 2016, we shot our load, and like it's been a party, but the chicken's gonna come home to roost, and we had better like be understanding of like what are our needs. Because I'm gonna make some suggestions. I'm gonna piss a bunch of you off, and it's gonna make the rest of you really, really happy. Try to remember why they're pissed off. There has been a guy in LA. It's always in LA. That did the surgery, the ones you all have been reading in magazines about. They would try to sell you pills, pumps, and pads and whatever else. Like there's the dude that actually has it now, and like yeah, it's been in the news, but like none of you have gotten it because it cost $13,000. I think it's dropped a little bit, but like if you just get these bitches to offer that as like their first olive branch on the deal-making shitfest that's going to be like socialized medicine or public option or whatever the fuck is, put that on the menu. Bring us to the literal table so we can whip our cock out on it. Like we'll just fake them and say like, oh, we'll give you your tits. Every girl can have the titties she wants. That's her right. You give us dicks, we give you tits. I don't think they're dumb enough to fall for that shit, but if they do, great. If they don't, let's say, all right, we'll see your titties and we'll raise you your OBGYN. And because they're good negotiators, you can be like, yeah. All right, after OBGYN, we're gonna raise you bodily reformation time off. Like, let's not go with like parent time. Your body gets deformed when you're pregnant for the purposes of like bringing a new member of our society into the fold. Like, that's important. You only get one body. We should be like encouraging you to take really good care of it. And we have not built our world around it. We've like made that a chore for you, and we don't reward you for it. The chore is supposed to be the shut the fuck up. I'm telling you right now, if we made folding clothes and waiting tables pay $25 an hour, our entire world would be fixed. If we paid kids $25 an hour to fold clothes, like wash dishes, we'd fix everything over one fucking year or less. Give the kids money, don't give it to the fucking parents. Parents, no, you get services. You get foods. We gotta stop throwing money at certain problems and like just balance it out. Find the lowest common denominator. I know most of you didn't fucking pass high school. That means like a minimum basic thing that everybody can agree upon. because nobody can agree on anything right now, and certainly not a minimum that we all agree to. So, you know, I made some suggestions here. I've been very meticulous in how I've labeled things because most people won't get past the title. I respect that. I am that person as well. I'm putting my heart and soul into these because, as I have put in my very old, 2 years old, Molotov cocktail to the world, fuck you people, I'm winning. Yeah, no, you got to put some wackiness out there. You gotta make a unique data signature with literal ones and zeros representing your psyche in the virtual realm. Like, this is the shit, okay? You need to see the world this way, because if we all do it together at the same time, we will fix a lot of things and improve a lot of people's lives. No questions asked, no buts about it, okay? I'm going to take some very undefendable positions and some ones that are going to make a lot of sense. You can figure out which ones I'm faking versus which ones I really believe in. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing these things because I think it's the right way to show people something that they're not learning in whatever the fuck it is they're processing, if they're processing at all. The fact that we do not test people to see if they can still think straight, there's no like basic, material test of like, can you remember more than 5 numbers? Because passwords are really fucking with people. And I understand why. Like, passwords, you shouldn't have that many passwords. You should not need to know that many passwords. And you shouldn't have to store all your passwords in a separate middleware that then when they get hacked, then you lose all your passwords at the same time. Like, we need to, again, if you gotta use the finger, if you gotta use your dick, if you gotta use your eye, I don't care. If you gotta use your birthday, fine, let it unlock a code and then you put like something else in there. Wire up something, I don't care. We need a better way. But because like I have no shame, I'm not going to be securing anything. Like, I'm going to give my passwords out to people. Those of you who have hacked me will actually see that. Like, the joke is the password. Like, I knew you were fucking coming. Like, I changed my password very deliberately from the 6-digit SHA or the 6-character password difficulty SHA to like the 8-character password difficulty SHA to the beyond like. I have different passwords that I've used for throwaway shit, so like hackers will end up knowing who the fuck I am. Oh, there's him again. With the same bullshit password, the same bullshit email address. What the fuck? This guy didn't care if we came, huh? I'm just too deep for you, man. Like I expected this to happen. Everything that we have secured is going to be free for public use or purchasable at the highest bidder. That's how good they are at scraping your data and knowing who the fuck you are and what the fuck you're talking about. The greatest fucking blow up of all industry in our lifetimes that none of us has heard about is blackmail. When everything's recording, blackmail options are everywhere in ways that you can never understand until it happens to you. And then the one thing you want is to shut it the fuck up. The legacy of email is it will be known as the original blackmail. I'll come with something for blue mail will be fucking Zuckerberg's with people that are fucking... People are blackmailing each other with Zuckerberg's Facebook messages and WhatsApp messages. Yeah, that's next. I've gone through parts of like my growing up and like coming of age of who I am as a male. Again, this section out here that is a little bit differently numbered. You see how I went one way and then I went the other way. You see the different numbers? I will call them digits. They're not. They're tridgits. But like, I'm working with a mixed bag of people here. Okay. You get that? Why is it tridgits? Well, we work everything with binary, and that's bits. And tridgits, or trits, well, those are really efficient, but they don't improve the actual like speed or performance. They just use less energy. But if we replace all those bits and bytes with trits and trites, we wouldn't actually see a material benefit in our daily lives because that's our power bill, and that will stay the same no matter what the fuck happens. I can tell you this definitively because like your processors, your phones, your TVs, and everything else in between uses less energy, and you all still pay for electricity. We are infinitely more efficient now with electricity than we were back in, right after World War II, when they used nuclear fucking power, and then they just hid the waste where people wouldn't go for a few thousand years, and now we're just burning things. Because nuclear power creates a waste product so dangerous, it needs to be stored for hundreds of thousands of years away from humanity where they cannot get to it. And we're just too cheap to fly it to the moon. That's the simplest way you can explain our current predicament right now. Again, I'm not saying anything about pollution or chemicals released. I'm not even going that far. We had nuclear power. It worked. It didn't have it had some of these problems, didn't have all these problems, but clearly will be defined by the set of problems we picked versus the problems we didn't. I am delirious right now. Again, am I as lit as other things? No, that's why it's lighter in here. It's been getting lighter as I've been doing these. I did some of these in a dark place with my shirt off because it's gonna be like an inverted striptease. But because I'm a dude, you girls like my body, but that's not what's gonna keep you here. Yes, I don't want it to be, but I know these are gonna start to become like, your personalized version of a dating profile, because whatever the fuck people are doing sucks, and doing it on your own is different, and doing it on your own is better, I think. And I think all the layers between you meeting another person on this earth, like, they're problems. If you're not meeting them face down drunk in a bar, or like saving them from a bastard man who you want to beat the fuck because he didn't treat her well, like, I'm working for all of you right now. Like, we all got to have a better open monologue with our world, because it's clear that some people either A, don't have them, or B, are not being challenged in other things that they know to be false. And that's not an easy place to. We have never understood a world where nobody trusts the institutions around. Like, of course, there was always people that didn't trust, but like, you could see the performance, and like, it should be ringing a lot of bells in your heads. Like, as we can't even figure out what the fuck is a crime in this country, China built a fucking hospital in 9 days. I'm not saying they're not. I don't know what. If numbers come out of there, I don't know. Right now, it looks stable. Like, I'm getting to you, like, on this day, February 9th, 2020. They did it. We just throw money at the problem. I don't know, but whoever makes the cure is going to make a fuckload of money. But, like, really? Like, why don't we, like, take this and learn from it? If we just changed how we lived and forced people to, like, spend time together, or force them to spend time in an uncomfortable place, like a really cold place, or really hot, whatever they're not good with. Teach them to be a part of the world and realize that it's not always going to be good things. You're going to have to make some sacrifices, and some people don't know what a sacrifice is in this world. That's what's the problem. We all disagree on what is a sacrifice. Like, white people think, bringing out lunch is a sacrifice. Like, how dare you? I'm going to go to lunch. Fuck you. And black people think, seeing your family get shot at an early age, well, that's just a sacrifice you make. Like, that's what happens. Like, apparently, that's what the media has been telling me, and I've just been indoctrinated, because apparently all white people are evil and they shoot black people because white people become police officers in black neighborhoods, and the states continue to allow that. And none of them have body cameras because we can't afford it. Meanwhile, every person that has a phone is way better than a body camera that they have on them at all times. Those of you realizing we're in the middle of a live stream where I am just going to go for an hour and just like give you what I am right now, as hard as I can. But I'm not as lit as usual. I am tired because I did stay up while I'm doing this and coming up with some topics. What I'm talking about are the recorded things that define us past our death. Some of them are hidden. Some of them we're going to output transparently. This is going to be our output we leave behind. Believe it or not, you've been throwing away a lot of the really important output you've been doing, and I'm going to send Zuckerberg a whole lot of it. That's your shit. Literally. Your shit. You don't understand. The dry weight of your shit is billions. Billions of things that we're living inside you. You're flushing it away. With Zuckerberg, I'm going to fuck with him and just send him pictures of it and say, look, this is data, and you can use this later in an algorithm, teach you how to see whose shit's going to give them cancer in their stomach, because I'm going to give you my EMR records too, and then you're going to pay me. And I get to upload a bunch of pictures of shit to Zuckerberg and get paid for it. It's great. But yeah, the actual contents of your stomach and how, like, all the inputs are different, but the output's the same. Okay, it's clear with a little yellow. You guys are drinking too much water. Some of you cunts are fucking eroding. I figured this out a long time. You women are actually peeing so much, you're eroding part of your urethra. And the lottery winners are getting orgasms every single time they pee. That's why we're so moist. It has nothing to do with that study. That study was bullshit. Like, there's nothing wrong with our thirst. The reason we're still moist and why we're slowly poisoning ourselves is that women love drinking water because then they get to pee. It's a break from whatever the fuck it is they're doing, they get to pee. I'm saying as a man who, like, tried to learn it, it's fucking great. Oh, it's incredible. I am such a beast, I didn't give a fuck. I would pee so loud in my office that the women across the hall could hear it. Oh my god, I took the best piece. Oh my god. Let me get something straight. With my body size, I have a bladder 10 times whatever you bitches can hold. I figured it out. Like, don't doubt me. I'm going to have girls come up to me after this. Yeah, I do that. It's fucking great, isn't it? Yep. Oh, it is. I got to stop because that shit's bad for your kidneys. We're going to have a lot of kidney problems as a society in the next 10, 12 years, maybe 20. Because some of us are drinking themselves into early grave and they can afford the, they're working out so much they can afford it. And some of them are not going to handle it. Part of that's your liver, but your kidneys, like, they're filtering a lot because you're putting so much goddamn fluid into them. I don't know if you know any nephrologists, but they're the most boring people alive. Make them your fucking leaders. But don't look at them, like the hidden ones, behind the scenes. You got to put pretty people upstairs. Like that's the only way it's going to work. We're going to suffer through Zuckerberg, but don't worry. I got the V team coming up real quickly. You have no idea. Oh my god, they may not be as smart, but they're going to look 10 times as good. Ivanka, my dear, when you want a real man, give me a call. I'm just saying, your husband's a little bitch. You want to be part of the tribe, or you just want to be Jew-ish? Take a full-blooded right here, okay? My last name's way better than his. Ow! We should, like, make all public housing Trump housing. I'm just saying, like, if the shoe fits. What, you've never been to a Trump? Clearly you didn't. Like, it's exactly what you think. It's the white trash of opulence. Like, everything looks gorgeous, shiny and gold, and none of the fucking appliances work. I shit you not, I worked in multiple things with the name Trump. All the appliances for shit. Like, horrendous. Admittedly, it was developed by an Israeli named Gil Deza, but, like, they were fucking terrible. Like, they had to have a very special fucking contract with, like, the handyman peoples. I forget their names, they were in a yellow van, but, like, they were there all the time because of some issues, like, security had to stay with them the entire fucking time. There were a lot of repairs that I was just sitting around rich people's houses and be like, must be nice. It's better than going to the fucking ghetto where I live. In a really nice townhouse that went underwater during the first recession, and with two gay dudes just listen to wacky ass stories. That's where I lived after college with two gay guys, and it was the funnest time. Like, I never went out with them, but, like, you heard stories, and, like, they were so nice, and they kept the place really clean that, like, I could be a fucking animal, and it worked great. Like, they were just happy there was a big dude that would scare off the black people because we lived in the middle of a black neighborhood. And they never bothered us, but, like, these were two very frail, skinny, scared white men. And I was a security guard that just was probably overweight at that point and didn't give a fuck about the world. Fun times. I didn't get much pussy. One of them hooked me up with his really hot blonde co-worker, who really just turned out to be, more white trash than me, and that's just not going to do. I got to be the trash one in the relationship. I got to be the shithead, and that clearly wasn't going to work out. I think she's got a baby now. Congratulations. You had some great titties, and I got you before you got your titties, so I had before and after. God. She had the frame. She was taller than... Was she taller than me? She was close to my height. Very big girl. I didn't care how much she weighed. She looked fucking great. Holy shit. Like, some women wear it well. I haven't talked that much about my women because, like, they're special to me, but, like, I had high school, I had college, and I had two afterwards, and one I just recently got out of. That's why it's happening now. Yeah, no, the one before her was She was good on paper. I'm glad I dodged that bullet, in fact. But the two of you cunts that I love the most and that, like, you know, had a part of me. And the third one who did show me more about the world. And the fourth one who is a transgender hooker and reminded me what loving a person really means. I love you all, and you all are better people for meeting me, and I am a better person for meeting you. And I hope you can remember that. And if I ever put you in a position where you felt uncomfortable or upset or felt like personally slighted by me, please come to me before you start telling people how I raped you and sexually assaulted you. And the same goes for all the girls like I didn't fall in love with, but like we had sexy times, and like there's more than one time where like I woke up from drinking and I was like, I definitely tried to kiss somebody who didn't want to kiss me. Why the fuck did I do that? And like not be able to remember their face. There's one time like I made out with a girl in a bathroom, and like I realized later that was probably pretty uncomfortable. Like I don't think she was into it, and like I thought she was like trying to, I don't know, it could have gone. She had massive titties. I couldn't focus. Let me be very clear. I love small tits too. They're way more sensitive depending on the girl. I've generally been a good dude, but I've had bad moments, and like I really feel shitty that some of you girls are like making every dude's bad moment like that moment to fucking get your revenge for all the shitty dudes you met in your life. Like we'd be a little less absolutist. I think it's starting to trickle into our policy making. I think we need to all have a graded response. Communication, layer 3, SYNAC, you know. Or is it SYNAC? I don't know. The machines are talking better than we are, and we're the same fucking species. Like, our code is 99% the same, except for our massive fucking Y chromosome. That codes for the most important hormone that exists. Something that forces us to take risks, literally destroys our body to make it, like, bigger and better. And that is true. Like, if you have testosterone injections, your immune system is going to take a fucking hit. Dudes are naturally predetermined to like make more risky decisions than girls. Girls, stop hating us for that, okay? That's necessary because we don't have a womb, meaning we can't give birth, meaning we do not have guaranteed, again, equipment to send our code to the next generation. Some of us never like get past that, and some of us literally want to live as human fucking cock machines, and like you're not going to get rid of that. That's part of our genetics to like want to spread. And you could either hide behind whatever bullshit we've been doing for the last however many years, or you can make some real big changes real quickly, and it'll be weird, but you'll be well rewarded for it. Like, I'm going to make a very strong argument, I think, that legalizing with all the security, stability, and technology needed to do it, police state level, you could legalize prostitution and improve the lives of many, many, many hardworking women that know how to love, and take the money straight from the men that matter. People who look like me that never had to work a day in their lives and have a fuckload of money. Like, I mean, I haven't worked a day in my life, but I needed to, and like I don't have much, but like they look like me. I will be able to connect with them in a way that you cannot. So I'm the first one speaking this way, so fuck you for thinking otherwise. Like, hey, rich white dudes will spend tens of thousands of dollars, like, sponsoring a chick. Some of you bitches would put up with a lot less bullshit from the man you're with if you knew at the drop of a hat you could be making 20 grand an hour, just like catering some rich old dude that just wants to be pampered by a sexy little thing. Or a sexy stepmother. I don't know, whatever they're into, just do it, okay? Why? Because it's not that hard. And honestly, like, is giving the people that know how to love the most really the worst fucking change you can make? It will, without a doubt, be the largest transfer of wealth from men to women in the history of the world. But, like, in an emotional level, like, I am not a very, like, sensitive person, but like, even I know, like, we have, by proxy, like, Asian massage parlors all throughout your fucking society. You haven't done a goddamn thing because you all hate fucking Chinese people. Those are sex slaves. More sex slaves than we've ever had at any point in time prior to this, or even when there were fucking, like actual brothels and like sex parties and shit and like Roman, like they didn't have the fucking population we do, or a population as healthy as we do. Like people aren't dying. A lot of our people live through it, okay, and like that didn't happen back in the day. We have a lot of people we don't know what to do with, and we're like being as inefficient as possible, giving as much money to the very top to the point that they don't know what to fucking do. I am marketing to trillionaires right now, you stupid cunts. That's why I'm using so many fucking zeros. I don't know how many zeros is necessary, but like I'm putting a lot of zeros there so nobody can truly know what the numbers are, because that's how the rich hide their money. If the layman can't understand the difference between billions and trillions, what's the fucking difference? That's how highly they're. Despite the statistical certainty of existence, no trillionaire has been named yet. I wonder why. Maybe because we treat the billionaires like shit. Again, I'm shitting all over Zuckerberg in very specific ways to make a fucking point to him, but like, I get it. Some of these people with massive amounts of money did not realize the success that they're going to have, and they're getting started. They're starting to get scared. Like, I know it's not cool not to like empathize with the rich and powerful, and like, I don't agree with that unless your last name's Sackler. Fuck you. But the rest of them, like, some of them are like killing it. Like, Warren Buffett's nothing. Like, he's an Alpha Sig. He's a little bitch. Like, Alpha Sig is like, kind of fraternity. And he did some things right. But he's not the level of wealth these families are, these fucking countries. Like, when you own the entire fucking, like, reserve of oil, like, that just changes the calculus. It's not about numbers anymore. It's about making sure everything stays the way it is. The billions don't matter. Unless you're us. Like, if I can, like, teach the trillionaires, just give me the money, I'm going to be crazy, but I'm mostly just going to give it back to people that are in my area and make my area better. My area right now is Florida. If you people don't respect me, I'll go to New York and do it there. I don't want to because it's a bigger pond and a lot of shittier fish because they're all fucking poisoned with water. That look, I knew the water table back on Long Island was going to go bad within 40 years when I was born there. Like, my teacher told me, like, this is before we started ignoring environmental science. Like, the water table in Long Island is going to go to shit before I turn 60. And there's going to be no water to give New York City unless they desalinate all of it, which they won't. We need to start thinking about things. And I'm wearing the right shirt. Yeah, this is the new name of Facebook. You didn't get that. Yeah, I'm going to take the thing that means most to him, which is his name. It's not Mark. It's Facebook. It's going to keep the same colors, keep the same stuff, everything. It's going to have a new name and a new goal. The new goal is archiving live stream as much as we can and compensating appropriately. I like the color because it's going to change. Oh my God. I am... In an earlier part of this, I talked about one of my best friends, Manit Kadakia. He was competing with me in how good he could read at age 6 because it was the only relationship with another person he had, I think. Like, him and like some Asian kid named Pat, like, we hung out a couple times, but they were pretty crazy. Pat got crazier and Manit got chiller, so like me and Manit started hanging out more. They still live in the same house, fucking yellow as shit. Ugliest sin in my opinion, but like, me and him competed and like found meaning and happiness from it. Some people don't like competing, they just want to wake up the next day. And we were both competing against an Asian girl who took us to fucking school. Like, this bitch was like way ahead of her game. Ended up being salutarian of our class. And I still don't I can't get past, like, it would still boggle my mind back then and to this day. Rose was the color. Rose was the first color you learned in kindergarten when you did the reading logs or whatever the fucking thing is you read from that. That was, and then from rose all the way to like black or blue or maybe gray. No, I don't know. It was rose. Because the next year, again, it was just, I guess, how they wrote that stuff. Rose became the highest level, and you went through the whole rainbow of reading assignments. Again, getting more difficult as it went on. And like, I didn't understand why Rose was it, or why I even remembered that thing, but then I remembered, like, I needed to make some memories and retain some that most people don't retain. I have very, very vivid memories of kindergarten and reading, getting stories read to us with like an audio tape when I was new back then. Big dude with a Bobby knocker. I don't. It was like a Morning Star that like he had a funny name for. I don't know. Like I remember these things. I remember Good Night Moon. My mom still has the other book, Love You Forever. Wild, wild things are like. Of all the things to remember that Rose final reading level, because most people don't read any fucking more, and most of them are pretending to read, and a lot of them are just watching the tube. And like, to be very clear, what Rose is, Mr. Zuckerberg, I know you don't understand it because of your personal affliction. Rose is the color of your wife's pussy. Okay, it's glorious. I know you've seen it at least once, twice. I've seen it and it's fucking delicious. Like I could not imagine a more perfect set of lips. I didn't know that the rumors were true. It is sideways. I get it now. But since I know you don't know the true color of your own wife's pussy, and I can vividly explain it to you, she's got like a little like taut pinkish on the outside of the labia majora, and then as you get to the labia minora, it actually blooms into a light pink, almost the color of my fingers, but not quite. I know you don't understand what pink is because it's too close to red, but think of like the whitest blue to you in your colorblind proper whatever thingy fuck up. The whitest blue. That's Rose. Also the grayest blue. Go figure. I've actually seen multiple fucking roses in like through like a viewer of what somebody with your affliction sees, and like it's either the whitest blue or the dullest blue. Either way, it 100% defines you and what you don't understand about our society. I know I'm being rough with you and I'm going to hit you in some places. You need it. You need to remember what surviving and getting sand kicked in your face feels like and being put into your fucking evolutionary place, because you've been doing it to all of us without ever actually seeing any of us. You have won the economy, the world, the reproductive game in so many ways that you are failing at giving back. I would rather you be fucking sluts on the down low and ruining your marriage, because at least your wife would get half and she'd give it to the new guy. And you have to pay off the chick that had your baby you wanted to have, like Hunter Biden style, but like that would be a lot of money and that kid would grow up real well and hopefully he could fix the problems you created. Stop right now and just write a code to solve that. You're that smart, apparently. I'm just good at throwing shit at people. Again, you are the architect who developed implicit immortality. I'm just making it a little explicit by broadcasting an Ultimate Y live stream where I fucking scream my head off people and say horrible things that should get me fired from any job and say, fuck you. This is how I see it. Yes, it's supposed to be authentic. I'm jumping through some hoops to communicate to people that I probably wouldn't agree on with anything. People that would probably shoot me on sight, actually. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to be the double agent to go, look, this is what it is. I agree with you guys, but you're going about it the wrong way. I'm going to tell them how to fucking win. Just like I'm doing, I am on everybody's side, but you're all not seeing it in any way but the way you choose. And part of that is the polluted world we are living in. We are literally sucking up light pollution. The cones and rods, the back of our fucking eye that actually processes like these monitors, TVs, phones, like we're not actually seeing anything. We're just seeing the sparkling lights and going, okay. Like your eye, your brain interprets the picture, but your eye is actually seeing every single little red, green, and blue dot. And if you take that to be like your guiding force in our world, it makes a lot more sense. I was aware of this like several years ago, but I had no way of communicating it. And it's taken me this long to get my fucking ball sack up enough to do it publicly. The first one went great. Again, you're not as petty as me. Like, I did that shit because my father would not stop posting weird shit on my brother's friends' Facebook profiles. And like I get it. You want to comment. Leave it alone. He can't, it bothers him. He wouldn't stop. And he's the greatest father to ever exist. Like, His toxic masculinity was that unapproachable. We didn't understand like that. That's just how things were. There's nothing toxic about you because there's nothing good about you. You sent fucking cell phones, smartphones, data to Africa. Have you ever starved? Have you ever choose between food and rent? Because if you can't eat a smartphone, you can't drink a smartphone, you certainly can't live under a smartphone and use it to shelter you from the rain, what the fuck are you sending? The color of this is the color of what I hope you and me are going to choose to work on together. And I think we could solve it pretty quickly for our side and then make it reproducible so we can solve it for everybody and just say, suck on our water supply. And like this, like we're going to say it to Super Soaker, but we soak in that hoe, okay? Like we're going to fix water and be like, Blue Beta, fix your water supply. Oh, all over your face. Oh, yeah. Oh. Drink all that water up. Oh, we're going to do it all. But Blue Beta. That's my fee, by the way. Yeah, I don't want your money. Just change the fucking name. Yeah, you think I'm after you? You think I would do all this shit for a paycheck of like what? If I was lucky, you'd give me the salary of the president. If I was lucky, you'd give me $400,000 a year and you'd call it a day. Like, oh, great addition to it. No, fuck you. I don't want your money. I want you to change the name. You change the name, Facebook Blue Beta. If you are listening to me, you are going to see that I am speaking in a way that you are not capable of. You are way smarter and you have a whole lot more assets at your disposal, but you need to be managed in a way that you've never really understood or been forced to understand. You're seeing it from the outside in and you're just kind of like going with the flow because like this is what's working right now. I'm going to clock you sideways and remind you that people are dying every fucking day, that you're just like letting it go with the flow and like getting another data point from another framework to learn more about us. Do you really need to know that much more? Because I'm going to make you know fucking everything and record it as like our automated Metatron. Do you even know enough about fucking Judaism? I don't fucking know, but like I can look it up. And that's how pretty much everybody solves every problem now. This is a heaven for an engineer, but like we're all acting like a bunch of scared animals, and like you get millions spent on security every year. There are very, very, very few people that are that lucky, and they are feeling less secure. Every single year, they are scared animals, highly vulnerable to a very convenient set of lies that confirms their own personal bias that they're not aware of. And the more they are unaware of it, the more money you make. We need to change your revenue stream, man. I know you own the government. Let's just make it work for everybody again, because right now it's doing jack squat. And we'll use the shit on the people we don't like. That's what you do. Like, it's a man's world still. Let's have fun with it. Again, I am absolutely fucking exhausted, and I got to do my outro after this, which is going to be, well, it's going to be great because my shirt's going to be incredible. Everything about it. God, I love screen printing. It bothers me. None of you figured it out before. I was hoping for somebody to do this instead of me. I did not want to do this. Like, I gave you all like time to like get on my level. No, our societies went from like in America having pamphlets. First it was the Bible, then it was pamphlets about parts of the Bible they realized it couldn't handle that much. And there was pamphlets about shit the fucking church was doing wrong. Then we came over here, and then it was pamphlets about like law and shit. And then like people slowly became like somewhat cultured. And now, you know, we went from reading newspapers printed in black and white to throwing bombs at each other to reading newspapers in color to watching news broadcast through a coaxial cable in full color. Well, first in black and white, then in full color, and we only had 3 channels. And now we have infinite channels, and we're creating new channels. Like, hold on. Where is it? It's here. Come on. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Got it. Sit. Watch. You see, way back when, the clicker had 2 buttons, up and down. Now, you see this? These are the numbers. These are what we remember. My generation. See, we had the numbers. That was new. Is you up downs? Home button. We didn't have a home button. There was no home. You had last. The last channel. You could flip between two. Now there's like a directional pad. And shortcuts with brand name buttons on there. Like, Zenith didn't print these kind of fucking... We didn't have that shit. We had numbers. Like, this is everything you need to know about a society right here. Okay? Like, oh, you want to... And what I love about this thing's fucking terrible. Like, I've had a Roku that doesn't have the numbers. It's infinitely better. Like, I don't use the numbers anymore because I don't get fucking cable. So, like, why do I need the numbers? And, like, this thing is a piece of shit. Like, these aren't so bad, but, like, I'm never buying a Vizio again. The TV's great. It's fucking beautiful. But this piece of shit? Not doing it for me. Again, beautiful TV. Incredible TV. I'm going to use it for video games. I wouldn't have to fucking worry about channels on it. Yes, I have a separate video game playroom of my own where my cat has all of his toys on automation so I don't have to play with him. I'm kidding. I do play with him. I love playing with him. I can't do it all the time, and he is a very bored cat. He went from like being the top dog of an entire block and just like bitching people out, just fucking laying the law down, and now he's stuck in here at me all day. Yeah, my cat ran the entire like female like population of like my old address, and like there was no rules, and like he enjoyed that shit, and then we got kicked out, or I left because yeah, shit happened. And now we're living together, and he's just bored as fuck all the time. So I had to make him some like ways to play. He still likes it more when I play with him. I know how to play with my pussy in the right ways. By the way, if you want to get close to a mammal, just rub its tits. This goes for all mammals. Just rub their tits. It'll work out. Sometimes too well. I had a girl who I cared for, was very intimate with. Her dog, every time we would start licking itself. Clearly, they had a close relationship. Every time we would get into bed, it got in bed with it, started licking itself. Like, it knew what time it was. Like, didn't help that I was deathly allergic and I never got any fucking allergy medication. I should have changed it. Whatever. I didn't want to go this long. God damn it. Zuckerberg, I know I hit you hard in some ways that like men don't like being hit, and like I am trying to get underneath your skin because nobody's underneath your skin, and you need to have your skin thickened a little bit to understand like what are the priorities of the world, because you are the youngest man to ever sit at the table of old wealth, and you're shit in the pot, man. Like you're going slow as you can. Like 2012 was the marker of like, oh, you guys will get your shit together right here. Like this is when you have enough communication ability, and it's been 8 years and things have gotten measurably worse. One more time, look at bite-sized date representation. It went from being a mirror showing a loop, and now we are staring in the mirror as running a loop. Let's come to terms with it. All right, let's just run in loops. That's what we do all day. Yep. At least we're still thinking and we're talking and we're walking and we're moving. That way, you save on future care for our aging bodies. People are dying because they can't pay for their medicine. They can't pay. You're gonna pay for my fucking knees, you piece of shit. I'm telling you that right fucking now. Like, I will die before I pay for my own fucking new knees. You're paying for them, bitch. You're half machine already. You're paying for my bionic knees. Fuck you. Oh, and my knees are very bad. Not as bad as my father. My father actually had all of his cartilage, all of his ligaments, everything removed from his knees, and he still can walk and play tennis. It's a medical marvel. His legs are literally so large and powerful, like except for like your top end football players, like he still has bigger legs than most men. Clearly, I had a specimen of a male teaching me how to be a male. That guy can take pain and like unlike anything I've ever seen. He got replacements. He couldn't sleep because he could not sleep without the pain. You need to talk to people like that and understand how they see the world, because you feel no pain. We need to come to terms with some other shit concerning painkillers. I'm not trying to scare you, but I think that they're kind of like a zero-sum game. Whereas every time one of you guys bails out on your pain, it's revisited upon somebody else. Maybe 10 times as much. I don't know. All I know is that our medicine although incredibly effective, has opened a Pandora's box that happened to be a bunch of white powder that is only going to get more powerful and only more deadly. Apparently now they've made gray powder, or gray magic, gray death. Again, I shit on the Jews a lot because the opioid crisis is going to have a Jewish last name. They're going to blame us. They're going to put Soros in there somehow. I don't know how they're going to get Adelson in there, but I would like them to get him in too. He's got to join the party. He's just a gambling dude who owns a lot of casinos, but get him in there too. I want all my Jews involved. Epstein and fucking Weinstein are the most hated last names in our country now. We are batting 1,000, guys. I'm not saying that we are the things. I'm saying is we're gonna get blamed. We may as well just fucking pay the piper now by getting them to pay us. Oh yeah, I have this fucking setup. It's 100%. They're gonna literally pay us to leave and go to Egypt. That's what we did last time. We're gonna boondoggle and fucking just psych out the United Nations to get all the Arabian countries to pay for the Jews to move out of Israel into Egypt, where we're gonna build condos for the Egyptians and make sure they never have to worry about housing again. And then they're gonna have the thing that they've wanted for so long. They're not gonna have to pay a lot. We're very efficient about things once we get we understand what it needs, and we're gonna of course tap our networks first, so we get a good deal on it. But there's gonna be a way where we match donations of oh, you want the Jews to leave? Pay up. We will vanish. We will give it back to you. Just don't kill us. Okay? Let's just stop the killing, and we will give you what you want. Because if there's one thing I know about all matters of trust, you want to scare the shit out of somebody, give them everything they want at the same time. No strings. Small strings just to make sure it works. We're not doing this finance thing because we want to steal money. We're doing it because we actually need to set up so we can survive somewhat in the desert. And we happen to have spent a lot of time learning all the exact things to do that really, really well. Since 1948, Israel has they've learned how to farm fish under the fucking desert, in underwater, under sand lakes they make themselves. Bring that shit to Egypt, okay? Ra will thank us for that shit. So will Anubis, and we'll be done with this crap. Stop with the Israel shit. Just fucking carbon copy it and 3D print that shit in fucking bumfuck. Why not? We literally have all that technology right now. Okay, we might be able to actually put it together, but take the pictures, do all the shit 10 times out of 10, the entire place. Okay, there's some parts the Muslims we have to go in. That's fine. You could check their work, see if they did everything. Look, we can take we could create new Israel somewhere else. And that way, in the most holy and perfect half-life of 72 years, we can both return Israel and then return to it. So that every generation, which lasts for every child born to be at least 72 years old, so they could see both Israel before and Israel after. Just timeshare that shit, because otherwise, let's be honest, they're gonna blow that shit the fuck out. If you do this, guys, and this is remember, I'm on your side. If you took Israel away, there would be nothing unifying all the Muslim power structure. It would change overnight in a way that the people in power would be very, very afraid of. And we wouldn't fire a bullet. I'm just saying, from my perspective, it sounds like a good deal. And I'm just upset that Kushner fixed everything before I could put this out there. It took him forever to do it. I was waiting for him to release it. Be okay, that's your idea. I like it. It's not going to work, so here's my idea. He gave him the deal of the century. Mine will make us the most loved nation in all the fucking world. From being the most hated. I'm not saying everything that they're saying is true. I'm saying enough of it is that it just looks bad. We are the wandering nation for a good fucking reason. We were the first decentralized nation that survived a Holocaust amongst many other purges of us. We are literally the micro Single-celled organisms, we are their version. We are way better than everybody else doing this shit. So let's just do what we do and get the fuck out. Okay? We don't die on our land. We don't water the fucking fields with our blood. Like, that's not glorious to us. We fucking run like scared animals because that's what we fucking do. Let the Christians die on the land. They want to die? Fine. They can die for it. We fucking run. Okay? And Israel, I'm not doing this because I hate you. I'm doing this because I love you. I want you to survive to a very old age and bitch about it the entire fucking time. Is that the most Jewish thing I can say? I grew up on Seinfeld. You gotta get old enough to bitch about all the fucking kids. Just like all the comedians doing now, bitch about the kid. I want you to get that old. Fuck you. At least 72. Nobody's offering a better option. I'm just literally running the complete opposite direction, okay? I don't care if this works. If it sparks some conversation at your fucking dinner table, I did my job. Like, I don't expect to live to see any of this happen, but like, I'm gonna be the first one to say it and say it in a new way because fuck you, and that's why. Ultimate why? Alright, almost done with this one. Like, I realized a long time ago, like, I was the kid who just, like, willfully walked into, like, all the stupid things you're not supposed to, like, name all the people that you like, and boom, it emails a bunch of people. Like, I fell into that shit because I want people to remember me. Like, I knew what it were. I fucking looked at the fucking code before I sent it, but I've done a lot of embarrassing things because, like, I found, like, I wasn't fetished for embarrassment. Some people are fetish embarrassment. I don't get that. I think those are your cuck dudes. I just, like, want people to remember my fucking face. I didn't like my face when I was younger. Now I like it quite a bit because it's so goddamn unique. It's definitely been hit a couple of times. I want to arrive at some special different conclusions that have nothing to do with anything because hopefully it'll inspire somebody to actually fix it because we sure shit can't. I'm putting up wacky immense amounts of data just to try and, you know, seed artificial intelligence and tell it that, yeah, no, we're fucked up. We have no idea. So I'm just gonna dump dummy data on you. Like, I don't know, maybe whatever. But like, the algorithms can read this shit faster than we watch it. Do the algorithms read these or watch these? How does that work? I'm sure I could talk to a machine learning guy. They probably know more about the algorithms than they do about their own wife's pussy. Does it have hair? What does it smell like? Zuckerberg's wife's pussy smells delicious and nutritious. And if me and her were alone, she would sit on my face. Oh yeah, no, don't ever trust me alone with her, sir. I'm telling you that right now. I know I hit the Jews kind of hard today, but guys, look, listen to me when I tell you, giving the enemy exactly what they want at the same time would cause more Arabs to die than Dick Cheney accomplished with both Iraq and Afghanistan. I don't want anybody to die, but I know you guys are fucking bloodthirsty animals that just hate your neighbors as much as they hate you and want to push you to the sea. That didn't work out. Nuclear Armageddon's not worth it. And again, there are upsides to this that you just don't have the balls to talk about, and here I am doing it because I'm deplorable and I will go there. Unconditional, pseudo-conditional surrender of exactly what we've been defending for almost 72 years. I'd say that's retiring the champion. I'd say that's the most honorable thing the eldest regional lie, oldest religion, can do to say thank you to the world for having its homeland heritage site back for a little while. And to take things we learned as wonderful gifts from the world and give it fucking back as fast as possible in all the right ways. Okay, like America's about to get shit on in economic ways we're not ready for. Like we gotta get the Jews out of Israel because we're not gonna be able to support them like we've been doing. And there are gonna be a lot of like xenophobe nativist whites that are gonna be very happy about that. And I can't blame them. I'm not on their side, but I see why they say that. And no problem. We should be taking care of our own shit. We're old enough. We don't need America looking over our back. We need to make friends with our neighbors now. Nobody in this country makes friends with their neighbors. I tell you. Okay, maybe the neighbors look like that. That's about it. Remember what I said earlier about yeah, I mentioned we started this whole thing killing a bunch of Indians. We didn't even kill them. It was the disease that killed them. typhoid fever, dysentery, God knows. We've done a number on this land. A number of biomes on this land.